All right. We're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. STSPod.club production. I'm BT, and that guy over there is my brother from a different mother. It's RynoJB. What's going on, Rhino?
Man, another episode from Memphis Wrestling. Another blessing, BT. How you doing today?
Oh, doing great on a Saturday. We're looking at episode 662, episode 95 of Rollin Into Mempho. We had WTF this past week, and also take a listen to the record store. Now, that was last week. I just want to talk about that from last week, but we also had Best of the Best. Austin Lane and I, we watched Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks from WrestleMania. And he gave all kinds of inside info about the psychology of that match. So very, very good with Austin. And you can join us on Patreon. Go to the link on stspod.club. And also, we mentioned this last week. I just want to mention it real quick. All proceeds are t-shirts. So if you buy any merch, not just No Kid Hungry, we make donations to them. Not only the fun Christmas shirt we made, but all the shirts. We'll make the profit goes to them. All right, let me tell you something real quick, Rhino. Today, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching it on Facebook, Twitter, right now live, here's what I want you to do. I can't believe I'm saying this. Quit watching and get down there. VIP starts at 1:30, 1:45 bell time for the third annual Grind City Rumble. Can you tell me who won the other two Grind City Rumbles there, JB? Can you remember? Do you remember?
That's like me asking how many glasses of Cabernet was that? No.
I had to look it up, brother. I had to look it up.
You have to look it up. Brett Michaels, right?
No, Alan Steele on episode 12.
Wow.
And Austin Lane on episode 48. So I don't even have any predictions for this one. It could be crazy. Okay, guys. Every week we do hits, misses, MVP, question of the week. What do they want to see on next week's show? What do we want to see on next week's show? Must see. All right, starting with you, Rhino. What are your hits?
My hits this week goes a little something like this, BT. We had Terrence Ward on commentary. Again, that's a hit for me. Also, congratulations to Terrence Ward and the new addition to the family. Absolutely amazing. Nothing but blessing and prayers there. Terrence was back on commentary. We saw Brett Michaels versus Storybook. How you feel about Storybook, BT? I'm wondering. How do you feel?
That's what they call a squash. Just let me say that.
A quick win. A quick win for Brett Michaels. A squash story. I like Storybook. I like what he was bringing to Memphis Wrestling, and that there's I want to say a new face for as long as we've been here, new to us, new to our day ones.
Right.
But he's been here for a little while now. I think at least a couple of months he's been on the episodes. I like him. And I want to see him get some wins, but it was a quick win for Brett Michaels this week. It was a hit for me. We also saw Brad and Mikey. They cut a promo against each other, and not only that, they had a match here on this episode. BT, I mean, this has been brewing for a while now. Brad has had his frustrations with Uncle Mikey before, and I guess everything has just kind of boiled over here, and it's
main event Brad, man.
Main event Brad. It's a hit for me, but I hate to see it. I like to see them working together, and I want to put it down as a miss for them to be fighting with each other. After they were fighting with each other for so long, then they finally got on the same page, and here we are. Back at it again where they're fighting with each other. But it was a hit for me this week. The Hot Shots got a big W against the LA Hustlers here. And I'm telling you, when it comes to the Hot Shots, when it comes to the LA Hustlers, I don't think that's the last match between them at all. I think they're going to have another one. Also, we had, of course, Bradley versus Uncle Mikey. They went the distance in their match. I wasn't expecting them to get as much camera time as they did, but they went the distance. They put on one hell of a show. Shout out to Bradley, who is not playing games. He wants W's and he wants championships. I think we never said it before, but let me say it right here, right now. We could potentially be looking at a future Heritage champion in Bradley. Remains serious, stays focused, can only accomplish his goals. Not only that, but Mike Anthony took out Big John Dalton's dad. Big Dalton, stop. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Big Daddy took out Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, we mentioned him time and time again here on the broadcast, being an incredible support system for Big John Dalton. And he gets attacked by Mike Anthony. You know, I've had my issues with Mike Anthony. It's been documented. It's been recorded. I've got my own issues with him. But what he did here this week, this was uncalled for. This was completely unnecessary. I think this might be the most savage moment that Mike Anthony has had in Memphis wrestling, attacking someone's father. Almost reminds me of what Randy Orton did to John Cena's father in WWE. But I had to put it down as a hit because, my God, Memphis wrestling, you don't want to miss it. And those are my hits this week.
All right, let me piggyback on a few of those. We started out with gun show promo, and I put down as a squash. I really like that, getting the gun show over. I actually liked the Hollywood Jimmy interview. Again, I've liked it twice. I love the Rock thing. I want to tell you, Jimmy kind of gets that from Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart used to bring out wrestling magazines, and he would take pictures of Jimmy Hart himself on the front of the covers. And you would think that I would go to the grocery store looking for Jimmy Hart on the front cover until I realized he was just kidding. Yeah. And then I could never find the magazines. They never had his picture on them. He had The Rock call him during this interview. Hot shots against LA Hustlers, perfect psychology. I really like that. Mikey versus Brad, different match than I expected. And I was thinking to myself, I really wish they would kick it in, but it was a total different match. Brad having a really mean streak in him, punching him. I thought he was going to get some blood at one time. But I really enjoyed that match. Good wrestling. That's the matches that we had were really good. And the very end, Big Daddy gets jumped and beat up by Mike Anthony. I love this kind of stuff. You know I do. Every time we talk about angles like this, it reminds me of old school Memphis wrestling. I seen him going around the ring, but they do me like this every time. I see him walking around the ring, and I'm not at one point thinking he's fixing to grab Big John Dalton's dad, but he does. Beats him, hits him with a chair, and there we go. That was my hits for the week. All right, what about your misses there, Rhino?
I didn't have any misses this week. I thought it was a solid show. Can't wait for next week. I thought production. Oh, I'll tell you another hit for me. The moving graphics. We saw it with Uncle Mikey and Brad, where they were facing each other.
Very good.
Love it. No misses from me this week.
All right. My only miss is the hot shots. They've been using this finisher, and we don't have a name for it. Come on, guys. Klein, go get a finish. I'll get another hit here while we're talking about misses. It's Justin Klein's really good on the microphone, too.
Yes.
But you got to come up with a name for the finisher. Dustin called it What a Move. Oh, what a move. I think we could do something else. But, yeah, thank you for in advance for coming up with the name of the hot shots move. I'd have to think about that one, but I really like the finisher. I really do. All right, we're up to MVP. Who is your MVP for the week?
My MVP this week is going to be Bradley Skimmerhorn. I thought he put on one hell of a performance, especially doing it all on his own. No tag team, no family, just main event Bradley. MVP Bradley, if you will. That's my MVP this week. How about you?
100%. Brad Skimmerhorn, main event Bradley. Fantastic job. A total different kind of match than he usually wrestles. Like I said, vicious punches and kicks and stuff like that. I really liked it. You made a point. These guys have been successful as a team. Why do they want to fight each other? So it'll be interesting where they go, what happens between these two guys. But Bradley can, pat himself on the back. He got the MVP of the week. All right, Rhino, we're up to question of the week. And, I sent the question from, and I'll play it here in a minute, but we had someone send in a question to ask if they could actually ask the posse a question. So, all right, this is what Simon sent in.
Posse Fan 314 says, what is your inspiration behind the black and white gear that you guys wear with the makeup? It looks like old-timer prison suits. Well, Posse Fan 314, just because that you put Posse Fan in your name, that doesn't mean we're going to tell you everything you want to know and do it for free. The first thing we want you to know is that we do whatever we want, whenever we want. Memphis Wrestling's not safe, and neither are you, wherever you are. Second thing that we want you to know is that you need to get up off the couch and you need to come down to the Wrestle Center and look us in our face if you want answers, because we're not giving you any answers on this or any other video online. If you can't show up in person and you're too scared, then you don't need the answers. And that's the business, dog.
All right. I hope it answered your question. Question of the week, you can call us at 501-232-1701 or email us stspodclub@gmail.com. I'm just going to say, if you have something you want to ask one of the wrestlers and want us to ask the question and put it on here, go ahead and send that in too. I got some connections, guys. I got some connections, part of the committee there. So, I could always get championship committee. I can get somebody to the only person that probably won't work with me is probably Hollywood Jimmy there. But other than that, we probably got a bunch of people that can jump in and help. And thank you, Simon. He messed up the intro or something. I don't know. It was all black and white, and it was messed up. I don't know what he's doing. All right, guys. That was question of the week. All right. What do you look forward to either next week or upcoming weeks?
What I'm looking forward to is the best of the best Austin Lane. I'm hoping that we get best of the best Austin Lane next week. And like I said, there's one person that I'm hoping that he crosses paths with. I mentioned it last week. I'm not going to mention it this week, but I'm hoping we see it next week.
All right. So I'm looking forward to just seeing what they do with the Skimhorns. Are they going to continue the feud? Will Brad be a singles wrestler now, going to main event Bradley to see what happens with them? And also Anthony in the Gun Show heats up again. And I made mention of this last week. It was heating up big time at this time last year, and it is still going on. I think they even had a match that was billed as like Final Showdown or something. I can't remember. My memory's bad, but that's not a Final Showdown. These guys are going to go at each other again. And also with everything that Anthony's been doing to Big John Dalton's dad and that family, it'd be interesting to see where they go with that. All right, we're up with must see. What is your must see for the week?
My must see this week is going to be Bradley versus Uncle Mikey. The graphics, the story, the history, the matches. It was absolutely incredible. The two of them have they've always had the fans behind them, either cheering or booing. And now, must see. Must see. You got to tune in. You got to see it.
All right. Must see for me this week is the angle at the very end. It seems like I say that every week. What happened at the very end? What happened at the very end? The chair going, Big Daddy getting jumped. And by the way, Big Daddy and Big John Dalton also appeared on the podcast. You can go and listen to all of that. We've been huge fans of both guys, but I hate seeing him get beat up, but I love seeing him get beat up. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. That was
a wrestling fan in me.
That was our must-see for the week. All right, man. We're rolling it up right now. Remember, guys, same bat channel, same bat time on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. If you haven't left your seat yet, right now, go. 1:30 VIP. The show starts at 1:45. It is the Grind City Rumble, the third annual Grind City Rumble. Be there! And as everyone knows, I love my mama.
Me too.